everyone. Welcome to video conversations with the Mapping Future Imaginaries network. My name is Linda Knight, and today I'm talking with Kimbal Bumstead. Hi, Kimbal. How are you?
Hi, Linda. Good to see you. I'm good.
Yeah,
I'm very good.
that's great. That's great. So today, Kimbal's going to share some of his work, and we're going to start off by I'll let Kimbal introduce himself and his practice, um, uh, and then Kimbal, I'll get you to talk if you would on speculations on the world to come in your work, and then more broadly about your work. Thanks.
Sure. Yeah, thanks. So, hi, I'm Kimbal Bumstead. I'm a visual artist and performance maker and in participatory mapper, and my work is quite broad, like spanning from painting through to interactive projects involving mapping and drawing. And yeah, there's lots of kind of common themes that sort of emerge in the work about space and place, and sort of abstract representations of spaces and places and how they exist sort of within a kind of imagined space, or how places are imagined. And I don't know if you can hear. Can you hear me? Because you've frozen on my screen.
Yes, I can hear you.
You can see me properly. Okay, that's good. I'll just it's interesting, this question about mapping future imaginaries, and speculations on the world to come, because in a way I feel that my work is very much based on the here and now in a way, rather than the future. But it's very much kind of about looking at the place that we're in physically now, physically, emotionally, mentally, and also thinking about the past in terms of experience and memory, and sort of personal associations to places, and how we can capture those things through artistic tools like involving drawing and video and performance. But I'm just going to bring up this slide to start with, to show this. Can you see that on the screen, Linda?
Yes, I can.
The grass. Okay.
Yep.
So it should not play through. That was not what I expected. Oh God, sorry about this.
It's fine this side. I don't know.
It's fine like that. Okay, we'll just do it like that. So yeah, I'm interested in a kind of embodied approach, embodied perspectives about experiencing places. And one of the sort of thematics, I just wanted to show you this, which is a theme of that I've been working with a few times in performances, which is this notion of the greener grass. That idea about searching for this better future, is that something's always better on the other side. And this is a common theme that was emerging in my work in various performances, in terms of thinking about what is life like, and what could life be like, and how can this sort of be explored somehow. So this is this idea of this. Well, I'll first talk about this piece. It was actually a performance piece which took place on a bus. It was on a bus on the way to go to a performance festival in Poland some years ago. And there was this little patch of grass that was on the fake grass on the dashboard of the bus, and everybody who was on the bus was going to the festival, but they were invited to come and sit next to me at the front seat of the bus and listen to a story that was being told to them on headphones. And then as they were listening to the story, they had a piece of paper in front of them, and they could make drawings of the road which was unfolding ahead of them. And rather than kind of trying to capture everything, it was about this fleeting moment of going somewhere and somehow trying to capture that moment, but the impossibility of doing so. So there's something kind of semi-ironic in this idea of almost like dreaming of this kind of thing that's going to happen, but then when you get there, you always follow. You're always there. So it's a theme that I've worked with quite a few times. And this is again with the fake grass. It was a performance piece that involved me rolling a piece of fake grass into towards a video screen, which is a video of a horizon from it's the sea that I filmed on the coastline of Tunisia. Which was it's just a simple shot of the beach, but it's particularly taken from the coast where many of the refugees were leaving from Tunisia to try to get to Lampedusa, and there was this notion of the horizon, kind of looking onto the horizon. The horizon is the search for the new life. And when I was in Tunisia, I was very much sort of, working with some refugees on a project, a video project, and one of the common things was this notion of like life is going to be better. And I was thinking about this from a more kind of personal perspective of this idea of dreaming, dreaming of going somewhere else, and what's that like? And then when you're actually there, you're always, well, when you finally get to this destination, what is life really like? And are you actually, what has changed? And the thing that doesn't change is that you're always the same person. You're always physically there as this body. So the performance is called This Island of Me. And it involved me sort of rolling the grass and then rolling towards this video screen. And I read a short text, which was sort of based on this idea of going somewhere, but you always follow. And the video piece was also kept on looping, and as it looped, it kept on gradually getting closer and closer towards the horizon. But as it zoomed in, the video became pixelated, so it just kept on becoming more and more pixelated. So yeah, there was this kind of idea of, you're going somewhere, but then this kind of impossibility of reaching the destination. So I don't know. I think my idea about the future, there is something kind of cynical. I do have quite a cynical perspective on the future, and this idea of never really being able to escape from what we have. It's very much about the present moment, and we're always within ourselves. So I wanted to just show that as a kind of brief kind of introduction to speculative futures. But one of the things that I really liked, like with this particular piece with the grass and the drawing, I'm interested in how drawing and mark making it can be a way of capturing sort of very personal things, personal experiences, and also embodied experiences. And so I just want to move on to talk about another project, which is about drawing, using drawing as a way of capturing embodied experiences and sensory experiences. So I'm just going to come back to our window and try to share another screen. Okay. I can see you again. Wait. So go back to this one, and then here. So yeah, I've done lots of things about drawing and mark making. Oh, sorry. Wait. Okay. Can you see the video?
It's just coming up.
Okay. If I put this full screen, can you see that?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, I'm just going to play this in the background and then just sort of talk about it. So yeah, drawing and mark making, and a way of telling stories. Drawing as a way of tuning in to experience, experiences around us, memories. I've done lots of workshop activities that are about using drawing as a way to tune into memories, so maps of memories, drawing places with your eyes closed, drawing places from memory, drawing together with somebody else on their body, drawing maps of places that you know onto somebody else's skin, and thinking about how you can use the physical act of mark making as a way of tuning into a specific thing, whether that's a memory, or whether that's a sensory experience, whether that's touch, or in this case sound. And so I've been thinking about sonic environments and how places kind of appear to us, how we imagine them, really. Because for me, I think of imagination not as something that we invent, but as a way that we experience our memories and our thoughts. It's kind of like what goes on in our head, how we imagine a place from memory, how we imagine a place that we're physically in, and what that imagination involves. So this piece involved, I invited people to make, people all around the world to make drawings of sound in their immediate environments. So the sounds of like what's going on in their garden, what's going on in the streets around them, and I invited people to go out to make a drawing, and then to make a sound recording at the same time. So they do a drawing with their eyes closed of the environment around them, and then they do a drawing of that sound and press record on their phone. So then I collected all the drawings that people made, and also the sound recordings that people made. And with the drawings, I stuck them all together. I kind of collaged them and took sort of fragments of them and edited them and stuck them all together into a map, what I considered a kind of map of an imaginary landscape. Sort of a landscape of experience, or a landscape of kind of perception, sort of told through these marks and textures. And then with the sound, I edited them together. I edited the sounds and sort of modified them and manipulated them. And this piece actually has, I don't know, I'm just going to bring the volume up a bit, because there is actually sound to this piece as well. Can you hear the sound?
Yeah.
So yeah, so this is actually taken from a live. The sound is actually from a live performance that I did last weekend, where I've kind of used the sounds that relate to these drawings and turned it into an improvisation, using this drawing as a score to kind of create soundscapes. So again, it's like another layer of abstraction and invention, and I feel like this really relates to the whole idea of mapping the imagination, or mapping imaginaries, because this is a map, but it's a map which it's rooted in reality, it's rooted in sort of real experience. That as a viewer, you can look at this and almost kind of you can invent your own reality. You can kind of hear the sounds and think, what is that sound? What does that relate to? How does that sound relate to that mark? And I think for me, this is the really interesting thing about abstraction, because abstraction is a way of not only kind of being able to tune in to your own experiences and your own memories and your own feelings, but also it's a way to reimagine. It's a kind of, you put it out there into the world for people to reimagine and create their own realities, which I think is, that's sort of what my practice is in a nutshell. It's about imagining and reimagining in relation to spaces and places. I think I've probably reached the end of my my 15 minutes I'm not sure. I lost a bit of track. How am I doing for?
It's great. It's really wonderful to see this up close as it's moving and as you've got that kind of soundscape going. It's really, and I can definitely see how there are connections with the idea of different speculations and different futures. It's really lovely work.
Thank you. I originally had this piece as a as an actual map, because I kind of I was interested in this idea about how, I mean, I'm also a painter. I do abstract paintings, and I kind of consider those paintings as maps, or traces of an experience. But then I've been thinking about how does that relate to the practice of mapping more generally, and mapping and mark making, and how a map can never really fully tell a story, about a place. It can only ever really tell one story, or specific stories. And I kind of wanted to just really play with that idea that this is a map, but it's a map that makes absolutely no sense. It's like it's completely off the wall. You can completely just like read into it whatever you want to, and I like that with my paintings as well. That people can just like really read into them anything in a way. I have my own intentions, but it very much morphs into anything. And I love that about maps. I mean, and also just looking at Google Maps, the idea of, you zoom in and out of Google Maps. You can go to a place that you've never seen before, or maybe a place that you know really well, and you can imagine being there, or having been there, or imagine what it might be like to go to that place, and then you see like little details and think, oh, what's that like? And I think that with the drawings as well, particularly, these are many people's drawings all combined together. There are lots of different perspectives, and somebody maybe had like made a mark in one particular way that sort of tells, they put like this squiggle here, this could be, this squiggle of, I don't know, it could have been a bird going past or something. It could equally have been a car. It could equally have been, just the sound of the wind, or it could have even been, their expression of how they feel at that moment, and it meant something to the person who made it. But then, me as the person who's edited all these drawings together, I've interpreted it in a different way. You maybe, see it and interpret it in another way. But yeah, this was originally like a map that you could zoom in and out of, but I turned it into a video piece, just to kind of give the focus so that you can actually look at it. Because I think, maybe with the zooming map, you're not going to just sit there and look at it constantly and listen to the sound, whereas this way with the sound and the image together, it really kind of condenses the viewing experience. So I don't know. Yeah, this is a new piece of work. This is I made this week. You're one of the first people to see
it. Wonderful.
Yeah.
Great.
Thanks.
Well, thank you so much for sharing.
Just going to come out of the.
And we will put a link to the video.
Okay, great.
I can't see you yet. Have you got?
I can't see. Okay, you've also. Oh, hang on, wait. I need to do this. Oh, okay, there I am. Sorry, I'm not very familiar with Teams.
Thanks so much. It's really interesting. I was just going to say, we'll put a link underneath the video to that work. So if you can send me the link, I'll make sure that it's included, so that people can find it and look at it in its entirety. Because obviously you only got to show us a small section, but it's so interesting to hear your ideas about speculative futures, and how you're using arts practices to think through those ideas. So thank you so much, Kimbal, and thanks for sharing your work.
Thank you. Thanks. I really appreciate you organizing this whole network. I think it's great because there are so many sort of disparate practices that really that really can feed off each other, and I think that it's also it's quite niche, and it's not it's something that we can all really learn from each other and share. And I'm really grateful to you for for connecting us all through this
no
network.
problem. No problem at all. It's been a pleasure. So